Hello everyone, this is Impulse, and welcome back to the Hermitcraft server. Look at this behind me, guys. Little train of villagers. I got some cool ones in here. I was sorting through these guys the other day in a live stream. Oh, little hiccup there. And look at this, we got the nitwits. We got 3 of these nitwits already. And I am saving them. I might want to do something with these guys in the future. I've already did something pretty funny on the live stream, which I may show you here in a second. But I've also been grabbing some of these cartographers as well, because I figure they might be coming in useful in the future. And then, what is this guy? I think he's just a farmer, which I wanted to keep him as well, because I've been having a lot of problems lately with entities disappearing, specifically my farmers down in the farms down below, which I've had to fix in multiple live streams. But it looks like I finally got that going again. This guy's doing the work, and I think the ones under him as well. You can see I got carrots, they're completely full, potatoes are completely full, and we're starting to finally get some wheat going, so that farm is fully fixed and functioning, which is awesome. But today, guys, I'm going to step away from the super chunk. I'm going to step away from the roulette game as well. And instead, we're going to get back to the Ghast/gold farm, because thanks to 1.11 and Piston translocation no longer working, we need to correct some things at that farm. Basically, the gas will no longer get transported down to the end and crushed, and we are going to fix that today. But before we do that, I want to show you what I did in the live stream if I don't die going through a portal. Over here in the White District on live stream, we actually took one of those nitwits and I transported him all the way through here to the courthouse, and hopefully he's still here. I haven't checked on him lately. And yep, there he is. You can see him. We have a nitwit up there. Oh, I'm so glad that he hasn't gotten killed by a zombie or something. But we did check to make sure this was all spawn proof up here, and we got Mayor Nitwit here residing at the courthouse. Pretty funny. Of course, this place is led by a nitwit. Only makes sense. So he's residing, I guess, I mean, he's mayor, but he kind of looks like he's up there at the judge stand, but that's okay. You guys get the point. So that was pretty funny. That was a great idea the stream had, and we just took care of it. And anyway, so we're going to get on with the project today, guys. We're going to get that ghast farm fixed up, and then I think I might need to do something with the collection system so that we make it a little bit easier to get gold crafted. So we may get to that as well, but we'll see. First things first, I need to gather some supplies. I'm gonna need to fix this thing up, and then I'll meet you over at the ghast farm. Okay, now I know I said I wasn't gonna work on this today, and I'm not, but I was over here getting some supplies that I had left here, and I remembered that a lot of you guys had questions about what would happen if you bet on both red and black. And I just want to explain real quick how this would work. So basically, if I was to take 14 diamonds and bet it on red and 14 on black, and go ahead and run this thing now, what's going to actually happen is one of these is going to win and one of these is going to lose. And the winner, of course, is going to get doubled, and the loser, of course, is going to go to the house. So as you can imagine, no matter what, I'm going to break even here. Now, of course, if I was to bet more on red and less on black, and red won, I would get the red doubled and the black would get lost, so I would make some diamonds there. But there's really no point of doing that because it's not in your favor. You might as well just bet on one. But anyway, just to prove my point, we'll see this thing through. You saw I placed a bet on both of them of 14 diamonds. We'll see what the final payout is. There's nothing in there now. And here comes the egg now, so this should happen. And the cart will stop. The winner is black, it looks like. So we should, yep, we definitely won at least one of them, and we lost the other one. So let's see what comes in. I would expect 28 diamonds, which is what I started with, to come through. And there you go. So the other 14, of course, went to the house, and we broke even. So I think I had, I don't know how many comments asking that question. So I just wanted to make sure that, I showed that off to you guys, kind of explain how that would work. And there you go. And we'll finish gathering things, and we'll get to the actual project. All right, we have arrived at the ghast farm, and there are all the ghasts in their glory. And oh, I forgot how loud this thing is. But let's go ahead and turn this on. I probably haven't shown this because I think this is also something I did in stream. It's a bit ugly still, but I've made it so there's actually a tripwire here that you need to stand in for this farm to run. That way this farm won't be running constantly and people leaving chunks and causing problems. You have to stand in this tripwire for this farm to run. It's gonna push some pistons, redstone signal, all that kind of stuff down, and you can see them moving. Went with the tripwire so you could actually watch this whole thing, which is awesome. It looks like I can actually see all the gas right now at the same time, maybe except for that corner one. Should be moving, but may look like he's not moving, even though he really is, that type of thing. But to explain the problem here, you can see this gas is now getting pushed, and what would usually happen is some translocation right here would happen as those pistons fire. Let's see if they're even firing now. They should be. Maybe next time through we'll take a look, but basically those pistons would translocate the gas all the way down to this little corner here, and then that would be responsible to kill him. You could see literally nothing is happening now because of translocation being broken, so there will be no dying ghasts in the farm, which defeats the whole purpose and is very, very sad. So Ilmango did publish a fix to this farm, and it involves, I think, slime blocks. So we're gonna basically replace the translocation stuff with little slime block pushers that's gonna kind of bounce the gas all the way down to the corner, and hopefully that will do it. And we're gonna get started on that now. It's gonna be very difficult, of course. Let's see if I can just fly down there. It's going to be difficult to do this without upsetting some of the other gas. So basically, my plan is that while I'm working on this side, I can't handle it. I can't handle it. That is too loud. You guys be quiet. Oh my goodness. While I'm working on this side here, I got to take out these pistons and put in some leaf blocks and some slime blocks and things like that. There's a chance those guys down there might see me and might start disrupting some things over here. So I need to be very careful, but my plan is to kind of work on this side with them over there, and then kind of push them over this side and hold them on this side while I work over there. So I'm going to get just a few of these started with the new model, and we'll kind of look at it and try to figure out exactly how this thing works. And I'll get back to you when I got that ready. All right, there we go. We got it working again, as you can see. And sometimes they fight each other a little bit and get kind of pushed out, but I got both sides working now. That was actually quite a bit of work. I did a lot of it on a live stream. Took an entire 3-hour live stream to get these things replaced here, and to do some other things as well. I worked on the rails underneath to make sure that these guys stay in line, to give you that kind of wave effect. Is that a new one, or did one just stop in the middle? I hope that's just a new one. Oh, what am I doing? I have an elytra. Okay, this is a new one. The rates on this thing are absolutely insane. I cannot get over it, but we do have all this in place. Let me kind of show you what the end does here. So I kind of went through this whole thing about how they push each other, or they push it all the way down with the slime blocks, and then we get to the end here, which this farm is so massive. You can see I replaced the end little cage here with these iron bars. It gives them just a little bit more space so that they can cram in there together a little easier, and so you get less of that kind of getting pushed out going on, even though it still does happen rarely, I guess. So have this whole mechanism here. Basically, you can see this iron block here that's sticking out. That's the block that's responsible for killing these things. So as the signal comes down, that actually gets retracted just for a couple ticks so the gas can get in here, and then it gets pushed back out to crush them, which is a pretty cool way of doing it. And you can see that glass block right there holds them in the cage so they don't fall down. And I got a whole bunch of garbage rails and lines and all sorts of other stuff around here that I do need to clean up as well. And these iron rails here, or iron bars, need to go all the way down there to the little collection system. So I think I'm going to do that next, and that's probably going to be somewhat tedious, especially the cleanup part, because there's all sorts of like maintenance lines and stuff that I've ran underneath. I had to change the way the tracks works to be able to turn them off so that the gas could sit on this side as I worked on that side. And so there's some of that going on. Some of that I think I'll leave because I did it out of glass and it won't cause problems, but some of the other lines you can see were causing some spawning and are kind of in the way of the drops. But yeah, this thing is coming together. Few things I'm looking at that I want to change right off the bat. Obviously, like I mentioned, all the cleaning up needs to happen. But obviously this ladder, I don't like it, of course. It takes forever to get up there, and it's pretty ugly. Also, when you're up there in the AFK room, I would like to be able to look down and see the farm with no obstructions of my view. So I think what I'll do is actually kind of move the elevator. I'll make like a minecart elevator at this point is what I'm thinking. Actually put it over here outside of the farm, lead it up, and then like a little walkway over to the center where you AFK. And I think that's where I'm going to go with that, so that you can have a lot better view without there being this, this ladder in the way, or even a minecart elevator, or whatever we choose to do. And then all this, of course, is going to need to be cleaned up. Right now, one of my biggest problems is actually this thing is cranking out so fast. Here, let's get down there. I bet it's still spitting out items. Yeah, you can hear it. It's still spitting out items. Yeah, I wish I probably should do something about that to where it's not spitting out items to the side. You can see it happens a lot more than I was expecting. But you can see there's gold in there, which means we're actually throwing away gold right now. And the reason for that is because we have overflowed the system here. We have how many double chests of golden nuggets here? I mean, let's take a count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have 3 of those. So we have 15 double chests of golden nuggets. What else do we have? Gunpowder, almost a full double chest. Looks like for some reason one made its way into that one. Probably just got backed up back there, couldn't handle it all. And oh, look at that, some iron blocks coming into the system. I think I just put them there for storage when I needed to get some stuff out of my hands. But look at that. We have, what is this, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 and a half stacks, almost a half stacks of gas tiers. Crazy amount coming through here. So I think I'm going to actually work on this, because I don't like crafting nuggets to ingots to gold blocks. It's kind of a pain. I wish it was a little bit easier, or because right now I've just been like kind of breaking the chest. I think I showed you this before, but I've been basically just breaking this chest, standing here trying to pick it all up and then craft it right here. When I break the chest, they go flying everywhere. It makes a huge mess. So I'm going to change up the way we do crafting. But first, let me clean some things up, get those iron bars in, and just make this thing look a lot nicer. So I'm going to get that done right now, and then we'll work on a little bit better of a crafting system. All right, there we go. Much better. It is looking really good, I must say, and everything is working flawlessly. The iron bars are all the way in. These killing chambers are working. We're getting the gas tiers. Let's see if any drop off of these two. And yep, right into the hopper over there. You can see there's some hoppers along the edges of these iron bars to make sure that those get collected, and then they get put in to be picked up by the carts that are going back and forth. There's still just a few things left to do as far as getting this farm completely 100% kind of perfect, if perfect's even a thing. But we need to put some iron golems kind of to the outside that will attract these magma cubes. You see how he jumped off? He just luckily jumped off on his own accord. But if we put some iron golems out here, that will attract those guys to jump off. But I need to remove some of the glass from the other side, and I'm not going to have time for that today, unfortunately, because I really want to get the sorting system kind of fixed up. And I've been looking at this, guys, and I've really been doing a lot of thinking about how I want this all to come together, and so to look good and also be really, really functional. So you can see here I have the AFK spot up in the center there, and I have that ladder up to it, which I mentioned before I want to remove in order to be able to see the platform better. But I also have this line that comes over and over here and then down, and this is so that the farm can be turned on and off from actually being in the AFK spot. So I'm thinking I can kind of combine the two things that I need into one here, so I can have like an elevator go up and also kind of go up alongside of that, so we only have like one bar going up into the sky. But I think I want to do it like right here on the side. And so then I also thought, well, if this is where I'm going to be coming to get in and out of this thing, the storage system probably shouldn't be over there. It should be over here. So I want to move, I know. I want to move the whole storage system into the center here. So it would be, I'll probably curve these hoppers around a little bit. We'll have to see how I want to do that. Maybe actually I'll bring the storage system back and face it in this way. And then to get up, you would look up here and then just kind of minecart elevator up. Now, I'm not going to get all that done today, but what I will do right now is actually move this storage system into the middle, and then I'll make room for what will eventually be the Ender Pearl elevator. So, all right, I'm going to get to work. That's probably going to take quite some time to do. So let me get that done, and I'll be right back. All right, there we go. Lots of work has been done. This took many hours, actually, but I have it now. Basically, what I've done here is you can see I've brought the hopper line over from this collecting cell here all the way over to here, and we got an item sorter going on this left side. And so the first thing that's going to happen is going to be looking for the gas tiers. Then it's going to be looking for the gunpowder, and then it's going to be looking for gold, and that's going to fill up basically this entire hopper chain, all these droppers. And I got a few buffer chests as well, and we can hold a couple double chests of gold plus some extra hoppers there, the gold nuggets, and we're going to fill up these droppers. And then the same exact thing is happening coming along from the other cell there. So just in reverse here, we got the gas tiers, we got the gunpowder, and then of course the gold nuggets. And I got this crafting station here that I set up so that we wouldn't have to break the chests and re-put them in and have the gold nuggets fly everywhere. I wanted something a little more auto crafty than that, and so that's what I've done here. Basically what we have is 8 droppers on each side, so we're gonna get 16 total, and that means that after 4 ticks of a clock, it's going to be a whole stack, and that clock is going to be running really fast here because I just have a comparator clock. Let's see if I can even get back in there to see it. Running low on ender pearls because I've been up and down so much, but here we go. You can see comparator clock that's basically just triggered off of that pressure plate that you're going to stand on when you want to craft, and you can see it's just going to go around in a circle, make its way up this little redstone ladder here, and then go into this block here. It's going to power this dust, which is going to power that dropper. It's going to power this block also, which is going to power that dropper, and we just kind of repeat that pattern all the way up. So it will basically spit out a whole bunch of gold nuggets at once, and we'll be able to craft with that. So let me show you guys, for those of you that have never done the auto crafting this way. Basically what you want to do is fill your inventory with the items that you're going to be crafting, except for your first slots here, your 1 and 2 slots. And then what you can do is just go over here, you can stand on the pressure plate, look into the crafting table, you can see we're getting lots of gold nuggets filling our inventory, and you hover over the spots in the crafting table and just press 1, then 2, then 1. And you can see if you watch the bottom hotbar, you're just going back and forth between 1 and 2. I'm picking up more and more nuggets every time, and I can shift click those in, and I can just continue that process. We can go a little bit faster and just kind of alternate fingers here. Now this could be a little bit faster. You know, if this was able to be made horizontally with water streams like I usually do in the overworld, I could add a lot more droppers and we can get nuggets faster. Because we're in the nether and we don't have water streams, I had to make this a vertical design, and you know, so I don't get as many droppers as I would like. So kind of have to go. You can see I finally kind of caught up there. You have to go a little bit slower than I would like, but it's not bad. It's really not bad. It's a lot better than breaking chests and having to put them back. And see, it just kind of can't go too fast. That's all. But look at how many we're crafting already. That is absolutely amazing. And this thing is actually quite the sight to see if you step back and just watch somebody craft. I had Tango on here during the live stream last night checking this thing out, and it was really fun to watch because you just get a whole bunch of gold nuggets raining down and into his inventory there. And there we go. So I'm going to just step back here, and I'm going to step off the plate. Yeah, there's nuggets left over. It's really not that big of a deal. You can just kind of step up here to the side and kind of finish off the crafting session from the side here. And we'll get enough in here that we can just kind of split these off and just kind of clean up so we don't leave any. But nuggets are not a problem. Like if we waste a few nuggets, really not a problem, because there is an absolute ton of gold that flows through this system. It is amazing. And then again, if you wanted to craft these even further into blocks, you know, you just get yourself 9 stacks of ingots, which I think we did. If I eyeballed that correctly, looks like we are perfect, a little bit over actually. So we can craft this into gold blocks as well, which is awesome. And my plan ultimately is to make a lot of golden carrots, so I'm probably not going to be doing a lot of crafting because I want to keep them in nugget form to be able to do that, but we'll just keep the gold in here for now. And anyway, so that's that. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the whole breaking the chest thing. I don't know why. I've always had a problem with that. So I wanted to do something a little more automated. Yeah, like I said, if I doubled it and went even higher, I could have done faster crafting than that. Or, you know, maybe if I had done 4 facing into each other, but then the redstone would have got really messy. I like this, that it looks good from the front and kind of hides all the redstone cleanly back here as well. So yeah, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. And so I also did just a lot of cleanup, but you can see there is a big no-no happening right here. And I'm not just talking about that pigman that's chilling up there, although we should dispatch of him quickly. See you, sir. You can see there's a whole bunch of uncovered hoppers, which is bad. It is bad. I know, guys. I know there's been a huge debate about whether or not covering up hoppers is a real thing or not. Yes, I believe, and I've seen enough evidence to prove that covering up hoppers does make a difference. I'm having a hard time with my ender pearls today all of a sudden. That's why probably I'm down to 9. Yeah, I've seen some videos out there that prove that covering hoppers with storage, things that have storage, is a good thing, because then hoppers aren't going to be looking for like items that may be, you know, floating above them. See, it's constantly having to check. And so I recently saw a video by Nembom MC. I'll post a link in the description. The video is actually for a mod of his, a carpet mod he calls it, but through the mod he was able to determine that covering hoppers with droppers is actually the best thing you can do. Furnaces still cause a little bit of lag because I guess the furnaces have to be checked to see if they need to cook something maybe, or I don't know what the game's doing there. But he determined that droppers are actually the best thing to cover up hoppers with. So that's what we're going to do here. Now you see this guy, this is still kind of leftover junk from before. This isn't even hooked up anymore. That hopper right there is actually taken over. But anyway, let's try this one more time. I want to see if I can actually cleanly get up into that space. Oh, I think that was pretty close. We didn't nail it, but oh yeah. Yeah, I'm going to run out of ender pearls trying to get up there. But I got to do it. Nope, got to do it. Come on, we got to get this right. One of these times. There we go. Finally landed on there. So yeah, what I want to do now is basically just cover all these up with the droppers, and then we need to also cover them up with the slabs here because we don't want any spawns. You saw that pigman on there. Let's just do this. Let's cover them up with droppers, and then I'll come back and cover them up with slabs. That should probably suffice here. Doesn't really matter which way these are going to face. We're going to cover them up with the slabs anyway. You won't notice in the end. But yeah, I just need to cover up all these lines, this whole side, and then that whole side, and then come back and do the half slabs, and then we'll be good. Also, the other thing I need to do is you can see the item sorters are going to be looking for gold and the gas tier and gunpowder in the middle there, but anything that's not that will come into this line here and into this chest. You can see we have a lot of rotten flesh, right, which we don't really want to do anything with. We're just going to dispose of that sword you saw me throw in. So if it's not those 3 items that we care about, it's going to end up in here, which means we need to recreate our item disposal system. So let me get done filling this in, and then I'll go ahead and hook up that disposal unit, and then I think we'll call it a day, because oh my goodness, guys, I've spent absolute ton of time on this video today. I know it's hard to tell when things are, you know, this grand in size. It's kind of hard to see that, how much time could possibly go into it. But I got to tell you guys, I think I've literally put about 15 hours into this video. So I would appreciate it if you guys could hit that thumbs up button for me for the extra effort this video. I know it took a little longer than normal, and hopefully the next video won't take so long. But we'll find out here. But let me get done with this, and I'll get that disposal system hooked up, come back, show that off, and then I think we'll call it a day. So I will be right back. All right, there we go. Got it hooked up, and you can see I just basically changed that chest into a dropper, put the usual comparator clock on it that I use, and there is a cactus directly underneath. So this dropper's facing down. We didn't make the same mistake we made before. Let's see if we can get a better angle of it here. And there you go. Yeah, you can see the dropper's facing down into the cactus, surrounded by glass and a block there. So I can set the comparator on that to take a look at what's in the dropper and get signal from that. But that's going to kill all the items coming through that are not what we want. The gas tiers, the gunpowder, and the gold, of course. Everything else should get destroyed in there just fine as it comes in. Hopefully that keeps up, because this thing is going to have insane rates, so I'll definitely be testing that to make sure that this system can keep up with that. Now that I'm looking at this, it did matter which way we faced those droppers. Actually, those upwards facing ones look a lot better because it doesn't have the extra little slab texture on the side. But anyway, it's kind of neat. It's kind of neat, a little different how it turned out. But that is it, guys. This is all working now, and just a few minor, very minor things to do. The elevator to get up into it, of course, and then moving this line over. Hopefully I'll just take care of that in a live stream, and I can just show you guys in a future video that is in fact complete. But I am loving the way this turned out. Looks absolutely amazing. And like I said, I spent a lot of time on this, so if you guys could hit that like button for me, I would appreciate it. But that's going to be it for me today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. And with that said, I'll see you guys again next time. Have a good one, everyone.